Good morning, bars. Today is March the 3rd, 2018. It is about 11 a.m. here in Hawaii. Today I kind of just wanted to give you guys an update on my life, what's been going on. Don't mind my room, it's a complete mess. Today I'm off from work, which is amazing, and because it like never happens anymore. I'm constantly working non-stop, and it's fun, I guess. Anyways, update on my life. I think the last time I talked to you, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that I no longer have a car, and if I didn't, I no longer have a car. It's completely broken. Gladys is gone. Ruined the moment. Let me just turn you off really quick. Okay. Also, I've started a bullet journal, so if you guys follow me out on Instagram or Snapchat, it's posted there. But I have done, I don't know if you guys can see that, I've done like a mood chart. Well, it's like a year in pixels. So each color represents a different mood. So like red is like super, super happy. Orange is like happy. Yellow is like meh. Green is like sad. And then blue is like, holy crap, I'm depressed. And then I have a key. Quickly go over this real quick. A cute little quote that says, "Let the adventures begin," followed by the entire year. And then an index. I'm not going to show you because it's boring. This is the cool part. It's a future log, so I put down like events and birthdays of my friends and family here. But it's like a spread of every month throughout the year. So I have January through June on these two pages, and then July through December on these, which is really cool. It was really fun to make. I have goals, memories, things I want to do for my YouTube channel, places I've been, what I want to watch, a savings tracker, a weight loss tracker because I do plan on going back to the gym this month. I even might go today, who knows. And then January and February, like a complete overview, a short page worth of events, details, and stuff that happened January and February, because I did start doing a complete start to this bullet journal here in March. So I've got an entire calendar, and then my plan is to take a selfie with my new Polaroid camera every first of the month and end of the month, and then just kind of see, I guess, progress visually, because as I look at myself every day in the mirror, I don't see changes, but I feel now that I have, and taking a picture on my phone isn't gonna, like, it's not the same as having like a physical picture. So with the Polaroids, I feel like I can do that, right? And then I'm going to track my expenses, things that I buy throughout the month, and then every day, every week, I am going to kind of like reflect a little bit on my day. So I've got weekly spreads here. I can also take notes down as to like what, like a to-do list for the day. And then this is where the key in the very beginning of the journal comes in handy, because it kind of reiterates like what each symbol is supposed to symbolize. Like for instance, look for various ways to get rid of my car. I put that as an open circle, which means a task. It's a task. And then take day one Polaroid. I put for Thursday the 1st. It was an open circle, but I filled it in, which means it's complete. But if you look really good at the first task that I had, which was to get rid of my car, it kind of has like a, what is that? Blank is greater than sign. I don't know. Hopefully I'm getting this. It means that I've migrated it. Did I migrate it? Yeah. no, yes, I migrated it, which means I moved it to another day. If it was the less than sign, it means that it's a scheduled thing, to kind of make sure that I know what's going on. And then if I've crossed it out, like I've done here on Friday the 2nd, bam, hopefully that's in the shot. Like I said, I'm an awful cameraman earlier. If I've crossed it out, it literally means that I've canceled that. And then other things like events, I've made triangles. If it's a YouTube thing that I've scheduled, it's gonna be a square. And then if it has an asterisk, it's super important. If there's an exclamation point, there's a deadline. If it's just like a bullet point, it's a note. And then I kind of wrote like a short like paragraph about the day. And that's all I have pretty much for March. Like I'm sure as the year goes on, I'll develop things into the journal. Think of new things to do, new things to keep track of, I guess. But this is one way I've decided to start helping organize my life. I've gone back to smoking cigarettes. Right before I went to Denver, it was like my last week of work before my trip. I was still vaping. But my dumbass decided to go and have a little too much to drink. And after work, and I was walking back to my car, and well, I wasn't walking back to my car, I practically ran. And my mod was in my pocket, my jacket pocket, and so I guess it just wasn't like in there good enough. So as I'm running, right, it falls out. And I'm like, oh no. And my entire tank on my mod pops off, and then the tank splits in two. And so I'm like, crap. So I'm like, oh my gosh, no, running to grab all the pieces. As I pick up the tank, the glass is shattered. So, I'm back to smoking cigarettes. I hate it. I went to the Life Foundation here in Honolulu. They do free HIV testing, but I will be on PrEP, which is exciting, which also means I'm HIV negative, guys. Yay! I went there to do the test, but they also told me that they could help me with smoking cessation, and so I took them up on that offer, and I got the nicotine gum and the nicotine patch, but I haven't used it yet because I'm scared. I know I should be more scared to smoke cigarettes than to try to quit by using the patch and the gum, but I don't know, like, who knows, maybe I don't know, I just don't know. The one thing I'm pretty sure most of you want to know is when I'm leaving for flight attendant training, right? Let me take you guys back really quick to July 2017, which would make a year in 4 months. July 1st, 2017, I did something super stupid. I've already heard everything about, like, we'll just say I've been judged, but that's not what it was. But it was, to me, that's how it felt, So I would really, really, really appreciate, nothing, no more judgment, because I've heard it all. But I want you guys to know that as of today, I'm definitely not proud of it. It's happened. It is in the past, and I'm trying to move forward. So July 1st, 2017, I had an altercation with a family member that resulted in me hitting them and us getting into a fight. And I was then charged with assault in the third degree, which is abuse of a household member. And I was taken to the police station, booked, put into jail. Because July 1st happened on Friday, normally cases like this, you go into jail for the day, you come out the next day, if it's on a weekday. But because it's on Friday, July 1st was on Friday, July 4th was on Monday. I stayed in jail Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday night, Monday night, and I had my initial court hearing on Tuesday morning. Actually, it was Tuesday afternoon. Anyways, so Tuesday afternoon, July the 5th, I came out. I was dressed in my University of Hawaii pet band green polo shirt, my black slacks. I wasn't wearing shoes when I went in because I didn't know I could have shoes. I thought they were gonna make me take it off and they could, provide me with appropriate footwear, but they didn't. So the entire time that I was locked up, I had no shoes. But that's not, it's not funny, I know it's not funny, but just to think about not having shoes in such a place like jail is kind of like, whoa. So I was locked up. I was given a second court date after that initial hearing on the 5th, and in the midst of being released into the real world again after getting, let go, there was so much going on, and I had all of my possessions were in like this big Ziploc bag. It wasn't even like a shopping bag. It was just a Ziploc bag, and I tried to dispose of what I didn't need. The only thing that I had on me was my cell phone at the time. I had a chain that I was wearing, and because I have asthma, they had to go and pick up an inhaler before they put me into the cell. The officer and I drove to the pharmacy to pick up an inhaler, and then we went to the cell block, and then so I had my phone, the chain, my inhaler. I had literally this much paperwork that I had to carry with me, and within that paperwork was the court slip that said, okay, your second hearing is on this date. What I found weird about it was that the court hearing was supposed to happen at the First District Court here in Wahiawa, which only handles traffic citations and traffic violation court cases like that. So I kind of found it weird and funny. So I make an effort to call the courthouse as it's nearing the specified court date, to kind of just make sure that I'm supposed to be there and not somewhere else. As I call the courthouse, they're like, we don't have any record of you, Mr. Elmore, for this date. And I think it was September 19th. They're like, we don't have, record of you what did they say? We don't have record of you needing to be here on September the 19th for anything. Your name's not here in the database, blah blah blah. And so I was like, okay. And mind you, I think this was like the beginning of September, because it would be kind of weird to call them prior to that, I think. So anyways, I was like, okay, well, I'll just call, as it gets closer, just to make sure, because if I miss this court date, then I'm screwed, right? So I call them, I'm pretty sure it was the week before the 19th, and I asked them the same thing, and they tell me the exact same thing. Sorry, Mr. Elmore, we don't see anything about you having to be here in court on the 19th. And so I'm starting to think, okay, this is weird, this is funny, maybe the case was dropped, charges dropped, case dismissed kind of thing. So I kind of was like, okay, well, maybe I'll go in on the 19th just to make sure, third time's a charm. And so I did. I went to the courthouse, and if you've never been to court, and I would hope none of you have gone to court or will go to court because it's not fun. They normally, well, here in Hawaii, I don't know how things work anywhere else, but they usually post like a clipboard on the outside of the courtroom that you're supposed to be at, and it'll have your name. And I don't remember. I don't think it's alphabetical order, but they will have your name on that list. If your name is there, that's where you're supposed to be. There are some occasions where they miss names, and I don't know how they do that because this is people's lives, like the court system's trying to screw you up. But there are cases where your name's not on the list, so you should go and see the clerk on the inside of the room to just verify and make sure, And so when I looked at the list, my name wasn't there. So that was the first thing I did. I walked in and I talked to the clerk, and I was like, I'm supposed to have a court date today, but my name's not out there on the list. So she's like, okay. So she takes my ID, looks it up, and she's like, we don't have you in here for the 19th. We don't have you in here at all. And I was like, okay, that's weird. And so, remember that thick stack of paperwork that I had with the court slip that said the specific court date? I had lost it, so I had no proof that I was, supposed to be there. So I was like, okay, well, I had a slip that I lost in transit from the cell block to the real world. She's like, well, I don't have you here in the system, so you can either wait here or to see if there is something wrong and maybe the judge has your paperwork or whatever, or you can go. And I was like, no, I'll wait for a little bit, but this is kind of a waste of my time if I'm not supposed to be here, even though I was told to. It would have been nice to receive some sort of confirmation or whatever. And she's like, yeah, we normally don't do that. And I was like, well then, you waste people's time. Time is valuable. It's of the essence. So anyways, I waited there for about 30 minutes to find out that my name wasn't going to be called. And I wasted my time. So I leave the courthouse and everything seems fine and dandy. And in my head, I'm like, okay, cases dropped, charges are dropped. Everything is dismissed. I thought everything was good. Fast forward to January 2018. I get notice that, I've applied for all of these airlines. I went to Hawaiian. I got through 2 rounds of interviews at Hawaiian, which is amazing. On my first application, turned into Hawaiian Airlines. I applied at Delta. I applied at American. I applied at Alaska. I applied at Virgin because they were still separate. And I got turned down after the application. I applied at United, and I got a video interview with United, which was amazing. On my first application, turned into United, and I got turned down. And then I'm pretty sure my last airline I applied to was the one that I got the job offer from, which was Frontier. I applied at Frontier Airlines, was given the assessment to take, passed the assessment, was scheduled for a phone interview, passed the phone interview, and was invited to the face-to-face out in Denver. Mind you, on the application for Frontier Airlines, it asks you, and this was the only airline that had asked me about that in the application process, in the application itself, online, was, what was the first question? have you ever been issued a restraining order? If yes, what were the reasons? And then the second question was, have you ever been convicted, found guilty, pleaded guilty, some other fancy law term and other of these things? And it says, by answering no, you are automatically disqualified upon, background check and fingerprint processing. And so, because my court date on the 19th wasn't there, and I had mentally thought, I honestly thought that I was good because I didn't have to be at court, right? I thought everything was fine. I answered no to that convicted question. And I did answer truthfully and honestly when it came to the restraining order, because I was issued a restraining order. I was served that restraining order, and I was, honest about it. And I didn't tell them, like, in complete detail why. I did, however, mention that I was charged, which is different from being convicted of assault in the third degree, which resulted in the restraining order, right? So I did not lie. I was up front with it in my application. I get to the face-to-face interview in Denver on January the 23rd, January 23rd, 2018. And I go through the entire process, which my interview started at 7:30 in the morning, Denver local time. And I was the last interview candidate out of those hotel doors that day before the second group which I left after the second round of interviews started at 12:30. So I left the hotel at 2 in the afternoon. Let me retrace my steps really quick. I get a contingent job offer, a CJO, which pretty much means the offer is here in their hands. I'm on the other side of the table, and they're gonna look at me until my background check clears, my fingerprints pass, and I pass training. Those are the three contingencies between me and this job offer. So I wait for my background check. That's cleared, passed. My background check came clean. Fingerprints. Because I was booked and because I was put into jail, I had to do fingerprint processing at the police station. But because I had thought my court dates were good and I didn't have to be in court, everything was going to be fine. That turned out to not be the case. I get an email on February the 11th, 2018 that states, it pretty much read, Justin, upon fingerprint processing, certain information was given to us, and it said Assault 3, Honolulu, Hawaii. Based on whole or in part of this information, we are considering revoking your job offer. And my heart fell to my stomach. I was devastated. So the email stipulated that I had 5 days to contact state offices and then return contact Frontier to, what was it? Oh, there was a word. anyways, to kind of like tell them, you know what, things are in order, everything's taken care of, charges cleared kind of thing. Only to find out that day after I got the email that I was served a bench warrant because I didn't show up to court on September the 19th. Which blows my mind because the clerk said I wasn't supposed to be there. I didn't have a date scheduled at all. And I was there, but they said because my name wasn't there that I could go, you know? So I didn't know from September 19th till February 11th that I was wanted for not showing up to court. I had a bench warrant out for my arrest. I take matters from that day, go to the public defender's office here in Honolulu to get the bench warrant recalled, get another court date, go to that court date, you know, get things cleared, get my record swiped because I really, really, really wanted this job. Like, there's nothing more that I want in life except this job. So I go to the public defender's office. He's like, oh, I can get the bench warrant recalled, but it's going to take more than 5 days. And at that point, I kind of lost all hope. So I sent them an email trying to reason with them, you know, kind of asking what I could do to possibly keep the job offer open. Whether it be allowing to hold it open until I clear things up with the state and the court systems and get my charges dropped and stuff. Or whether it means, if given the opportunity to go through training and complete training, to put me on a longer probationary period or something. Letting them know that my background check cleared, it passed, it came back clear. I wasn't convicted, I was only charged because I hadn't gone to a court date. And that's not what they asked in the application. And also letting them know that I was upfront with it in the application, and if it were, you know, it kind of sucks to have been able to go through the entire process only to find out at the very end that, hey, you might not have it because of this. It kind of sucked. So I asked them to kind of like reconsider a little bit, to really like think about it. And they did not respond to me in the 5 business days that they gave me. They did respond back quite late, actually. It was, I'm pretty sure it was like February 17th that they finally got back to me. I got a phone call from their compliance director, and she flat out told me, "Hi Justin, how are you doing today?" And I said, "Depends." And she's like, "Well, we had to make a final decision and we are going to revoke the job offer." And she's like, "Have a good day." And I was like, thanks. I didn't know what to say. I was devastated. I literally thought my life was over. I worked so hard for this. So as of today, I will not be going to training to be a flight attendant until I get these charges cleared and dropped. I have no intentions of stopping trying to get there. I will get there. I've proven to myself and to everybody that I can, because I was offered a job contingently, obviously, but I was still given the opportunity to go through it, you know, like, I'm obviously somebody that the airline is looking for, you know, I'm obviously somebody that they want to work for their company. I have the qualifications, the capabilities, the personality. I know I can do it again if I wanted to, and I will. I really do want to. I just have to work my ass off now, take care of my life, get my life together, and I'll be back out. I'll be back out there in no time. Like, I'm excited to do it again, and I couldn't have asked for anything better to happen. It sucks what happened, it does, but things happen for a reason. I'm a strong believer in that. I'm also recently have come in touch with my religious side again. You know, God has a plan for everything, and his plan for me wasn't to go now, which sucks, obviously. I'm gonna continue to say it sucks, but he had a plan for me not to go now. There's something out there for me to grab and take control of now before pursuing that. He's already told me and showed me that you're going to get it. There's no doubt about it. You're going to be a flight attendant. It's just a matter of when. Now is not the time. I'm still young. I'm only 24. I literally just turned 24. I have time, but like I said earlier, time is of the essence and it's very important. I do want to thank you guys if you watched it up to this point. Thank you for dealing with me. Thank you for taking your time to watch this video. I'm sure if you have watched it, you mean a lot to me. I mean a lot to you if you've watched this whole thing, because it's a long video. But other than that, I'm enjoying life right now. I've had my funk. I've had the time to mourn the loss of my job offer. But like I said, I'm not going to stop fighting. I'm going to continue to persevere. I'm going to continue to push through. And I will get another CJO, whether it be for Frontier or another airline. I'm going to be a flight attendant. There's no doubt. Like, I'm excited. If you want to talk, hit me up, direct message either on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter. I'll also leave my personal email down there in the description box. Shoot me an email. I do want to give a really, really, really big shout out to another fellow YouTuber who is currently training. He's going on his 3rd week of training with a mainline carrier. Location obviously is undisclosed. Airline is obviously undisclosed. But Soul the Flyer, check him out. I'll leave the link to his channel down below as well. Please check him out. I know I don't have a lot of subscribers, but I'm hoping that you guys can show him some love. He's such an awesome guy, super cool. We've been keeping in contact, kind of like motivating each other, which is awesome. Leo, good luck to you, man. Once you're done with training, come on over to Honolulu. Yeah, have fun. If you guys want me to make videos about the flight attendant interview process, the basics, the logistics, kind of things like that, let me know. I want to, this is gonna give me some options, because I've been looking to rebrand my channel, reevaluate everything, and kind of start over. Not really, but yes. I want to hear opinions. I want to hear options from you guys, because you are what's going to make this channel successful. I need your help. But yeah, I'm excited. Life is going good now. Like I said, I've had the time to kind of, but I'm full force in life. I have done things that I haven't been able to do. I'm starting to hang out with friends and family a lot more, which is amazing. And I'm gonna live it up. And like I said, I will become a flight attendant. When? Don't know yet, but I will. Other than that, February or March is gonna be a break for me. I do plan on going back to the daily vlogs in April, so look out for that. Until then, I will see you guys later. I love you guys. Bye.